What's up, everybody? It's Adam here at Apache Village in Hazelwood, Missouri. Today I'm gonna come to you with a 2026 Keystone Bullet 287 RLS. This floor plan has been awesome. It's done very, very well for us. I was happy when Keystone came out with it. It's a 28-foot box. Overall length is 32 foot 7 inches. Unloaded weight is 7,420 pounds. This thing's got 2 slide outs on it too. So it's a great floor plan. It's awesome. We'll get into that here in 1 minute, but I want to show you some stuff on the outside. It's really cool about this guy here. So on the outside of our Bullets, they'll have the 3/4 cap. And if you notice on here, I don't have them lit up right now, but on this whole track right here, that's all lit up. So those will be white. Well, actually here, we'll look at this guy. It's tough to see this, but these are all lit up. So we have those lights there. Then you'll have the lights that are on the side of the cap that are all LED as well. So on my standard Bullets, what we're gonna have is you got a full 3/4 cap with the metal diamond shield in the front, power tongue jack, battery disconnects, and then 2 20-pound propane tanks. What's different is on my regular Bullet, my Bullet Classic, they're gonna have the 3-piece aluminum front. That saves them money and saves them some weight, but they still do the lighted track sets there. So when I go through and I go from a Classic to a standard Bullet, I'm gonna notice that right up front. Then fully heated and enclosed underbelly, full pass-through storage down here in the base in your front compartment. One thing that they changed, which I thought was awesome, they put little hooks in here for your crank handle for your jacks, for your spare tire, and then they actually give you an adapter right there for your power or your cordless drill. So you can put it on there and then you can zip the jacks down if you have to. But the only reason I say if you have to, these are all power jacks. So the front and rear are both electric. So now we hit a button, and if they stopped working, switch went bad, or the battery went completely dead for some odd reason, your truck wasn't powered up, you don't have power at all, I can still crank them up and down with my crank handle that's there. But then you got your light switches that are inside here for those front lights that are there. Take them, flip them on and off. And then you got another compartment light that's right inside here for us. And then on the other side, I'll get over there to it here in a minute. That's going to be our solar power controller that's there. But again, 110 outlet down here. You have your TV hookup. So if you wanted to put a TV out here, you can, because they actually will put a metal backer inside that wall that's there. So if we wanted to mount a TV outside, we can. So on this guy, we do have a little bit shorter of an awning up front. Does cover our door, but with this having the slide out on the door side, we order it with the second awning back here. So now I have 2 full awnings that are going to come out the 9.5 feet on the outside of my camper. And then on the back here, we got our 50-amp power cord system. You are prepped for a ladder, and you're prepped for the backup camera. But then also down here on the bottom, we got the Class 3 hitch. So you got 300 pounds of weight capacity that it can go through and have there. So on the front, we had the white lights, and on the rear, we actually have the red lights. So these are on both sides of our Bullets. So it's really cool to see, at night when you're driving by, or at your campground, you have that's there, and you can tell which camper is yours. So coming up front on this other side, we have the Suburban tankless water heater. So it's the on-demand. So as soon as you get water out of your hot side of your faucets, you're gonna have hot water until you shut it off. Then you have your outside shower in here, fresh tank fill, city water connection, black tank flush, and then also our winterizing. It's all in one compartment. We don't have to go and look for all that stuff anywhere. It's all right here in one compartment. And then we have the little mousetrap door right down here on the bottom, so I can open it up so I don't have to have my water hose being pinched there. Yes, we do have solar. Well, I'll get up to here first. You got your 30-amp controller that's here. You can turn the solar panel on and off if you'd like. Then right up here, we have the hookup if we wanted to go and get into TPMS. So we have the system that's there. So if we wanted to get our TPMS, I don't believe we ordered this one with it, it can hook right up to our apps on our phone. But then down here, this little guy is for a portable solar panel. If you're underneath trees, which we all want to be underneath trees when we're camping, we can have a portable solar panel there to help trickle charge your battery. Then you're going to have your black and gray tanks down here. You got your black, gray, and then this one up front, this gray that's up here, that's going to be for your kitchen sink. So that, with it being there in the island, it's easier for us just to put a second discharge pipe that's on it that's there. All 15-inch Goodyear Endurance tires, and then we're on the torsion axles. So what the torsion axle is going to do, see if we can get in here and get a good video or picture of this. These guys are going to be, instead of riding on a leaf spring and bouncing, you'll have an arm that comes through the frame, which you can see here, is actually going to allow that arm to move up and down, and those tires are going to move instead of the whole camper moving. So it's going to give you a much smoother ride when you're going down the road. A lot of manufacturers don't use it. Why? Because it is expensive. We use it a lot on our smaller campers just because we don't want that bouncing going up and down the road. But with these bigger ones, it's going to give you such a smooth ride that you're going to be like, oh wow, that's super nice. I wish my old camper had that. Or you're going to pay attention and be like, oh, I'm going to have that on my next camper. So, but yeah, it's something that Keystone's doing on the Bullet, Crossfire, and the Premium. So therefore, it's just a nicer, smoother ride for you guys. But then let's walk inside this guy. All right, walking inside, like I said, you have two huge slide outs. So we got a 3-foot deep slide on this side, which has our table and chairs, which we can also get a dinette booth in here. We have our 2 recliners. These guys all have the armrests that lift up. I'll open these up and then I'll step back. So you have storage in both armrests and in the center console of those recliners. And then they have the manual pull that's on them. One thing that the Bullet did, I believe it was last year, and then they improved it a little bit more this year, was these windows. So we frame out our windows, and then we actually put a windowsill on them as well. So now, when you go through and close these blinds, it's going to block out all the side light that's coming inside here. That's one thing we always used to have with our old pleated shades is, you know, you'd still get that light that would come in the side. So now you're coming over here, there's no light that comes through this at all. So it's nice because if I wanted to get this completely dark in here, I can. And then over on the side, USB, USB-C ports. And then we have our strap that's there for us to strap down our 4 chairs while we're going down the road. But then I'm gonna step back and I'm going to show you this. So in the ceiling, we put our LED light strips in the ceiling. So one, it gives us a much cleaner look in the ceiling, so you don't have all your extra little puck lights. But then, yes, LEDs are bright, but here I can go through and dim all those lights in the ceiling. So I can make it, you know, not as bright in here. So when I come inside and I flip those light switches on, it's not, you know, the light's not blinding me. On the back, if you notice, you can see it better now. We do have the big arch roof truss that's inside here. We went to a 3/8 plywood roof decking that's on these guys as well. So it's a fully walkable roof that we have up front or on the roof of this. Then we're going to have our sofa that's going to be down here. It's going to fold out, make into our bed. Then on either side of it, we have 110 outlet and USB ports and USB-C ports. So it's nice because if we do have guests that are staying with us, if they have a CPAP machine or they want to charge their cell phone, they can go through and do that. Then we're going to have our TV. Storage above the TV is huge. Then our TV is actually 12 volts. So it's nice because I can actually run that without being plugged in. And if we would have an inverter and install it, it would go up in that front compartment by our solar panel, but strategically placed throughout the whole camper. You're going to have these outlets with the yellow stickers on them. Those yellow stickers are telling you that that outlet is off of the inverter. So you have that outlet that's there. I believe the outside outlet, there's an outlet and 2 outlets in the bedroom that are going to go through and give you power if you ever decided to get the inverter installed inside here. So the nice thing with that is my TV is actually going to work off of 12 volts. So I don't even need the inverter for that. So I can run that if I don't have the inverter, but if I don't have a power hookup. Then below the TV, they'll put the big drawers that are down here. So you have 2 big drawers that are there. Fireplace below, which is a 5,000 BTU heater. It's going to heat up this camper in no time if it's a little chilly morning. Then we have the full pantry. So this pantry, all these shelves are adjustable. So if I wanted to take and put my trash can down in the bottom, I can. So I can take that bottom shelf up, move it up, or if, you know, if I got taller boxes of cereal, what have you. So it's nice that they give us that adjustability on all of those shelves. Then you got your microwave cabinet next to it. Lots of countertop space that's here. Then you got your stove and oven. It's a gray stone. And then you got 5 drawers that are there in the kitchen on the stove and oven side. Then you're going to have 2 more that are in the island. So you got another drawer, another cabinet below it, another huge cabinet. Let's open this guy up here, down here. And again, if you wanted to put your trash can here, you can. So it's nice because it gives you that versatility to be able to put it wherever. Then we do the farmhouse sink, 1 big bowl. Then we have the new sprayer faucet. So here with it in this mode, it's going to come all the waters out of the bottom here. We flip it up this way, then it's going to come out like a regular spigot, and then we still have the sprayer when we hit the little button, and it is a removable high-rise faucet. So if I needed to spray this stuff out in the sink, I can, and we're all ready to go. And then you have the little sink cover, that's the roll-up. So it's nice because it does add a little bit more countertop space for us there if we need it, which in something like this, I'm not sure we're going to need it because we have all of this area that's over here with 2 more big drawers, another outlet that's there, and then you have this huge cabinet that's up here as well. So I mean, you got tons of space that's inside here, and I'm not sure where my light switch is. There's a light switch for the light that's inside these cabinets. So when I turn them on, it's backlit, so I don't have to worry about, well, right now I'm looking for my light switch for it, but it's nice because when in the nighttime, I actually will be able to have that lit up for me. 15,000 BTU Furrion air conditioner here in the living room. It is fully ducted through the ceiling. So you have your 4 ducts that are here in the ceiling. Then you're gonna have another set of ductwork that's gonna run through the bathroom and into the bedroom. Like I said, this is 50 amp service. Let me double check. We did add the second 13,500 BTU air conditioner to it. We add them because we know how the Midwest is to us in the summertime. It is not nice to us. Our humidity is horrible when we go outside, and we know all of a sudden our shins start sweating. We know it's cold, or cold. We know it's hot out and we want to be cold. So we order them with the second AC because it's less expensive for us to do it there than it is to actually do it here at the shop. But if we don't order it with the second AC, I can put that second air conditioner on here. It's not a problem. I always tell people, you know, I've worked here for a really, really, really long time. I can do that today, tomorrow, next week, next year, 10 years from now. You know, it's no different. So it's nice because I do have it on this particular floor plan. If the Bullet felt like they needed it, they would put it on there from the factory because their research and development department up there is top notch. I've been very fortunate to be able to go up to their factory and meet the guys that run their research and development department. And what they do up there, I mean, they're testing their windows, they're testing air conditioners. They got a heating and cooling facility. They get I think it goes up to like 125 degrees. My rep might correct me if I'm wrong there, which if he does, you know, hey, I'll take the correction. But I'm pretty sure it was 125 and it was down to like -10 degrees. So, I mean, it's a chamber that they put these campers into, and then they turn it up to that hot, and then they'll actually go through and turn the air conditioner and make sure that the air conditioner is actually going to produce enough cold air at that temperature. Because they don't build the campers just for me here in the Midwest. They build the campers for everybody. Arizona gets a lot hotter than we do here. Texas gets a lot hotter than we do. Florida does. But we get the humidity, and some of those other states, they get some humidity too. But, you know, their heat, it is hot out there. So they want to make sure that their camper is going to be able to keep up with the heat that comes out of it. So, but like I said, we order them with the second AC because we know that the Midwest isn't nice to us in the summertime. And the last thing that we want to have happen is you guys saying, yo, Adam, you know, my camper's so hot in the summertime. It's so hot. I wish I had a second AC. Well, we're putting the second AC on here for you so we don't have to worry about that. And here, you know, we don't want the calls of you complaining about it's hot in your camper. So, but yeah, that's a little rundown on the AC. It is a 35,000 BTU furnace. There's 4 ducts that are coming off of our furnace, and one of them you won't see. It actually is an 1.5 inch pipe that runs down into our underbelly, and then it is forced over towards our black and gray tank valves. We are not saying it's a true Four Seasons camper because I don't put enough insulation down there, and you know, we don't want to quote that because it is a little misconception in the industry. So yeah, so it's going to allow us to go camping later in the year or earlier in the year, or if you're like us in the Midwest, it's April and we get snow. It's happened. So we just want our tanks and everything like that to be, you know, nice and warm if we do run into those cold temperatures. If we do get into extreme cold heat or cold temperatures, I want to try to be somewhat prepared for it. But then also at that time, I'm going to tell you to go through and skirt the whole outside and then put some heat underneath of it, so therefore we don't get anything froze up on us. So, but yeah, that's my 2 cents on heating and cooling. Let's get back into this camper. Walking this way, we're gonna go into our bathroom. So we got quite a bit of countertop space that's inside here. And then you got 2 cabinets that are below it. Your Suburban tankless water heater controllers, light switch for your ceiling lights that is here. And then this outlet that's there is going to be your inverter outlet. How do I know that? Because it's got the yellow sticker. Then you have your medicine cabinet, big shower. I believe this is my 30 by 30 shower. So therefore we can step inside there. And then we will have a nice linen closet. And it's not very deep, and we'll get into why it's not very deep here in a second. And then we will have the porcelain toilet. All right. And the reason that that linen closet's not very deep is when we're walking into the bedroom, I'll just skip over the bed right now, is you're going to have a huge closet over here. So now you have a hanging closet up top. Then you're going to have 2 huge shelves down here on the bottom. So, you know, the 2 things that everybody wants more of in their camper is storage and countertop space. So countertop space we got taken care of because we got the coffee bar, we got that. But then now the storage. So you got the huge closet, big hanging closets on either side of the bed. All right. Storage above the bed, another hanging that's over there on that side. Then what they've done is they'll actually put these little cubby holes that are down here. So those are back behind the actual cabinets. So they bring those cabinets here forward to give us make it easier for us to get in and out of the closet. But then also, they're doing those cubby holes. So therefore, if I put my cell phone CPAP machine, there's a little hole that's down there. It's tough to see this. There's a little black hole that's there, so I can run my cords to plug them into my outlets or my USB ports that are down below. And again, these outlets are both off of the inverter. So if I have my inverter on here, boom, we're ready to go. We're all set. True 60 by 80 queen size bed. All right. So if you want to get regular sheets for it, get regular sheets. Then underneath of the bed, we have our storage. And then over on this side here, this counter is a little bit longer on this side because that's where I'm hiding my water on the outside. But I'm putting another drawer that's down here on this side. So again, we're trying to give you as much storage inside this guy as we possibly can without taking up good usable space throughout the whole inside of the camper. So they think of these little things here and there. It's like, oh, hey, we could put this here, put that there, and we're all good to go. But yeah, so that's our 2026 287 Keystone Bullet. If you guys have any questions or you guys want to see anything additional on this guy, again, throw them down in the comments. Hit that like, that share button, and then always come up and see why we say go one better, go Apache Village. Until next time, guys, see you soon.